Good evening, dear listeners. Welcome to Path of Life Tales. I'm your old friend, and tonight I want to share two special stories with you. A woman in her 40s, a mother of two teenagers, said, "Should I tell my husband that I had sex with someone else and that I want a divorce?" She was very direct. There was very little sex or intimacy. They slept in separate beds and did nothing together. Two teenage children in their 40s at this stage. Many couples are essentially like roommates. The difference is, some are still willing to admit it. She's no longer willing to pretend. Then that man appeared. He didn't force her. Instead, he asked several times, "Are you okay? If you don't want to continue, I understand." He made sure she was satisfied, passionate kissing. Different positions, he made sure she felt completely fulfilled. Notice what she said. He made sure I was completely satisfied. Those 6 words might describe something she had never experienced in her marriage. Why doesn't she regret it? Because it wasn't just an affair, it was a revival experiment she gave herself. She had been left in her marriage for too long, like a piece of furniture no longer in use. That man's attention and compliments felt like someone suddenly walking up to that piece of furniture and saying, "You're beautiful. I want to take you home." That feeling isn't just desire, it's the ecstasy of being seen. First, she needs to separate 2 questions. One is, do I want to continue this marriage? The other is, should I confess the affair? These 2 questions don't have to be resolved at the same time. Right now, she is in a state of sexual awakening. That night made her realize she still has desire, attractiveness, and the power to choose. This is a very fragile period. She may easily treat that man as a lifeline, and just as easily see divorce as the only way out. But the truth is, she is not in the right state to make any major decisions. Why? Because she is in the post-affair high. During this phase, dopamine and oxytocin levels in the brain are elevated, making the novelty and excitement feel like this is what real happiness is. But in 3 months, 6 months, that feeling will fade. At that point, her perspective on her marriage may be completely different. So my first suggestion is, give yourself 3 months. Don't rush to tell your husband. Don't rush to divorce. Don't rush into a long-term relationship with that man. Turn to your life first, and observe yourself like an outsider, and figure out what you truly want. Second, she needs to ask herself, why tell her husband? If it's to punish herself, there's no need. If it's to make him suffer, that's cruel. If it's to get him to agree to a divorce, there are gentler ways. If it's because she believes marriage should be honest, then she needs to ask, when has this marriage truly been honest? Was it honest when they slept separately? Was it honest during all those days of no love, no intimacy, but pretending everything was fine? I'm not defending dishonesty, saying that confession, in many cases, isn't about honesty. It's about unloading one's own psychological burden, shifting the pain onto the other person to feel lighter. That kind of confession is selfish, not brave. She can choose not to tell him, and simply ask for a divorce. The reason is simple. Our marriage is already dead. I don't want to live like this anymore. That is the truth, and it's enough. She doesn't need to use the details of the affair to prove it. Of course, if she truly wants to repair the marriage, that's another matter. But from her words, I don't regret it. I would do it again. She clearly has no intention of repairing anything. Dear writer, and everyone listening, a woman in her 40s, with 2 teenage children, trapped in a loveless, sexless marriage for years, her choice may not be right, but it definitely has reasons. She doesn't need judgment. She needs understanding. What she needs most right now is not deciding whether to confess, but deciding how to face herself. What does she want from marriage? What does she want from life? Is that man the answer? Or just a signal, reminding her that she still has desire, choices, and the ability to leave? My advice to her. First, don't project too many fantasies onto that man. He may be a good person, or just someone looking for fun. You need to figure yourself out without him. Second, don't rush to confess. First, decide what kind of future you want. If divorce is your decision, then go ahead. Confession isn't a prerequisite. Third, see a therapist. You need a safe place to express all these complex emotions: guilt, excitement, anger, loneliness, longing. These feelings aren't right or wrong. You just need to be acknowledged. Fourth, remember, children are not a reason. Unhappy parents hurt children more than divorced ones. Finally, I want to tell you, you don't need to label yourself as a bad person because of one affair. You are complex, contradictory, alive. You did something that may hurt others, but before that, You had already been hurt in that marriage for a long time. This is not an excuse. It's context. Now, you stand at a crossroads. Every path has a cost, and every path has its own scenery. Which one you choose depends on the kind of person you want to become and the kind of life you want to live. Second story. This happened 3 years ago. William was 32. He had been married to Mel for 3 years, together for 7. 7 years is enough time for someone to go from, "I want to have children with her," to "I'm glad we never did." The change began at a party. It was an event hosted by his former company, back when William worked in power infrastructure engineering. At the party, he met Kyle, 30, 4 years old, someone who got his supervisory role through his uncle's connections. Arrogant, greasy, always convinced he was the smartest person in the room. He was also Mel's ex-boyfriend from college. After that party, Kyle changed. Not for the better, he became worse, targeting William. The project required travel. The team usually rotated. But Kyle made William handle almost all of it every other week, sometimes weekends too. When William returned, Kyle would deliberately assign extra work, forcing him to stay late and miss dinners he had planned with Mel. And Mel? She said all the right things. "I miss you when you come back. Let's spend time together. We should have a child." But her actions? In 6 months, they had sex only once. By the 3rd month, when William kissed her, she would turn her face and offer her cheek instead. She said she loved him, but her body had already left. Friends, words are the cheapest form of commitment. What someone says doesn't matter. What matters is where they spend their time, where their body leans, and where they place their emotions. For those 6 months, William played the role of a responsible but slow-to-realize husband. Have you ever lied to yourself like that? On a rare day off, William bought hidden cameras. A friend of his brother, a police officer specializing in surveillance, helped him connect the cameras to the home's existing wiring. No extra plugs, nothing suspicious. William bought a dedicated router. The footage would only appear on his phone. William asked himself, "Do you really want to see this?" Fragments of evidence can be explained away. Continuous footage cannot lie. When Mel thought I wasn't home, when I was on business trips, working late, stuck in traffic, what was she doing? The cameras told me. I won't describe those scenes here, not because I can't bear it, but because they are too ordinary, so ordinary that anyone who has experienced betrayal can imagine them. The way she spoke on the phone, the clothes she changed into before going out, the time she came back. What hurt most wasn't the scenes themselves. It was one detail. After she came back, she would fix her hair in front of the mirror, change into home clothes, lie on the couch, and message me, "I miss you. When are you coming back?" At the exact moment she sent that message, her expression was blank. Not guilty, not nervous, just blank, as if nothing had happened. That was the moment I truly realized I had never known this person at all. So friends, tonight I want to ask you, your partner says they love you, but where do they spend their time? You say you love someone, do your actions match your words? If you already have an answer in your heart, but are afraid to face it, how much longer will you keep lying to yourself? This article is adapted from real submissions. All names are pseudonyms. The views expressed are only one perspective. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments.